pettiest revenge you've gotten on a scammer. I took my car to the dealership for an oil change, and while I'm waiting, this mechanic trainee asks if he can practice checking my engine with his supervisor watching. I said sure, help the kid learn. The supervisor just stood there pointing at different parts, explaining what they were. Never touched anything, never ran diagnostics. The whole thing lasted maybe 5 minutes before they moved on to another car. I thought nothing of it and got my oil change done. 2 weeks later, I get charged $85 for comprehensive engine inspection and consultation. I called them up. The service manager goes, "Our senior technician performed a thorough inspection of your vehicle." I'm like, "He was teaching a trainee, he didn't inspect anything." She says, "Sir, anytime our certified technician examines an engine, there's a standard diagnostic fee." I asked to speak to the technician directly. They put me on hold for 10 minutes, then came back saying he was busy with customers. I drove back to the dealership that afternoon, asked for the supervisor who did my so-called inspection. Turns out he was off that day. The service manager insisted the charge was legitimate, said their policy clearly states anytime a certified tech looks under a hood, it's billable. I asked to see this policy in writing. She couldn't produce it. I requested a copy of the inspection report. She said they don't always write them up for routine checks. I asked what exactly was inspected on my engine. She started making stuff up about checking fluid levels and belt tension. I pointed out that my oil change receipt already included a complimentary fluid check. She got defensive and said that was different. I escalated to the general manager. He backed up his service manager completely, claiming their technician provided valuable diagnostic services. I asked him to explain what diagnosis was made about my engine. He couldn't answer. They both insisted I had agreed to the inspection by allowing the technician access to my vehicle. I explained again that it was a training demonstration, not a service I requested. The general manager got snippy and said if I didn't want to pay for professional services, I should take my business elsewhere. He threatened to send the bill to collections if I didn't pay within 30 days. I spent that evening researching automotive service regulations and billing practices. Found out training demonstrations can't be billed as services without explicit consent. I mailed them a bill for $85 for educational vehicle loan and training facility rental. Listed my car's make, model, and VIN number as the training equipment provided. Added a line item for classroom space rental since they used my engine bay as their teaching area. The service manager called me furious the next morning. "What kind of invoice is this?" I said. "Your guy used my car as a classroom prop to train his student. That's my equipment rental fee." She started yelling about how ridiculous that was. I stayed calm and professional. I explained that if they could bill me for watching someone point at engine parts, I could certainly bill them for providing the engine to point at. She said that wasn't how it works. I asked her to explain the difference. She couldn't give me a straight answer, just kept saying it was different. I told her if she insisted their technician performed a real inspection, let's go to small claims court where he can show me the diagnostic report he filed. She hung up on me. An hour later, the general manager called back, much less aggressive than before. He tried to negotiate, offering to reduce my bill to $40 as a goodwill gesture. I said there was nothing to negotiate. Either it was a legitimate inspection with proper documentation, or it was training that I provided equipment for. He asked what I wanted. I said drop my bill and I'll drop mine. He said he needed to discuss it with corporate and would call me back. 2 days passed with no call. I sent a follow-up email with both invoices attached, reminding them of the 30-day payment terms they had given me. The next morning, their corporate office called offering to void the charge entirely. My bill got dropped faster than their trainee's rent check.